Hey everyone, this is Joe Concepcion at Heartland Defender. I am a criminal defense attorney with over 25 years experience practicing in Central Florida. Today I run the Concepcion Law Firm as a true solo, serving clients in Polk, Hardy, and Highlands counties with locations in Lakeland, Sebring, and Wauchula to serve those clients. I've been doing this for a long time, primarily as a government attorney. Spent a long time as a public defender, a significant amount of time as a state attorney, did some time in private practice in Tampa and Orlando working those areas, and I picked up a lot of trials along the way. And today I want to tell you about my favorite one. It's a story from way back when I was a baby public defender. I'd been doing this for just over a year, had several jury trials under my belt, so I can't say this is the story of my first jury trial, but it's definitely the one that solidified my faith in the jury system. We all know what happened on September 11th of 2001. On September 10th of 2001, I was picking a jury for a Middle Eastern looking man who had been accused of beating his wife. Now, this gentleman was actually factually innocent. He asserted his right to go to trial. He asserted his right to confront his accusers, and I advocated for him the entire way, including picking that jury on September 10th. When the unthinkable happened on September 11th, that made me start thinking about where my client was from, what he looked like, and how what had happened could potentially affect his right to a fair trial. When we came in on September 12th, I had moved to strike the jury and start over, arguing that whatever we had done on the jury selection day, the day before September 11th, is now tainted by the political and societal events and circumstances. And in my opinion, I did not think that a Middle Eastern looking man could get a fair trial on the day after September 11th in a very traditional American county, not a lot of Hispanics, not a lot of people of color. I made those arguments. The judge disagreed with me. We asked some questions of the jury just to make sure that none of them had any particularly obvious prejudices, and based on that questioning, the judge decided that the jury was good to go. So that's what we did. We tried that case. We confronted and cross-examined the accuser. The state put on the rest of their evidence. My client got on the stand and testified, told his side of the story, and lo and behold, after relatively short deliberations, that jury came back. I was convinced that they would come back with a guilty verdict based on the inflamed passions that we were seeing in America at that time. But no, those 6 people who didn't know my client, who didn't know a thing about him, who weren't vested in him at all, who had just witnessed this horrible scene that could inflame them against anybody looking like my client, came back and said not guilty. It was that day that my faith in the jury system and the trial process was really solidified, because I was not expecting that under those circumstances my client would get a fair shake, and man, he sure did. And to this day, I've got many trials under my belt, many wins that I'm proud of, but the one I'm still most proud of to this day is that one.